I used to watch Kwebbelkop a lot. Always been really nice to me. I know a lot of his old editors. They've all spoken very kindly of him, very highly of him. I don't know how Kwebbelkop lost his entire audience in 1 year. He did what?
April 2021, 97.9 million views. April 2022,
that is so much money.
8.5 million views.
That's less than how many views I get. What? He gets that few views now? 69,000, 83,000? How is that even possible? All right, let's go back to getting seduced by Sunny.
We're going to outline every single mistake made, which has brought him to this unfortunate
In your
point.
own opinion, though, right, Sunny?
AKA Geordie a little bit of slack. We need to specify that because he's a gaming YouTuber, some of this decline has actually been out of his control.
Yeah.
We've explained in past videos that gaming YouTubers often
have a very
volatile career, as their view count is directly tied to the popularity of whatever game they happen to be playing.
Only ones that his work for has been like Markiplier, really. Markiplier always does extremely well. I love Markiplier, and I want to kiss him. I want to kiss him.
Kwebbelkop's best month ever back in August 2019.
That is insane. 166 million views.
Of 166 million. At the time, Minecraft was coming back into the mainstream, bolstering Kwebbelkop's content, whilst Fortnite was still in its prime YouTuber phase, giving him countless opportunities for fresh new videos. Since Geordie had no control over the popularity. However, almost everything else which was bringing in these 166 million views had been a result of Kwebbelkop's actions. For example, Geordie was a master at collaborating with other YouTubers.
Slogo Man, and Jelly.
I want to know more YouTubers. I want to get to know all the YouTubers.
Slogo Man and Jelly.
I want
nice
my
dudes
friends
too.
to be YouTubers or people that are doing similar stuff.
Yeah, Corey is a good example of one who did not fall off. He can just leave for months and then get more views. It's unbelievable, dude. It used to make me so jealous because I had to work like every day to keep my lights on. I had to like record for 16 hours a day and also work like a part-time job. And then he just took 6 months off and got 50 million views a month. He's way funnier than I am and way better apparently, so. I love him.
This became most evident after forming a YouTube trio known as Robust, which included
the greatest trio ever.
Two other familiar faces.
Marshmallow. It's Marshmallow.
His first viral video with over 14 million views was him, Jelly, and Slogo simply messing around on GTA 5. As their relationship strengthened, a video where Kwebbelkop simply met Jelly in real life for the first time gained over 12 million views.
What?
The trio were even picked up by PewDiePie's YouTube network.
I talked to him the other day, Cinnamon Toast Ken, did a podcast with him. He's a pretty cool dude.
Alongside Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, with the subscriber count of Kwebbelkop, Jelly, and Slogo being the best piece of evidence for the success they find as a trio. In addition to forming the Robust group, Geordie began dating fellow YouTuber Azzy in 2016, with Azzy herself having a multi-million subscriber count at the time, meaning that they could collaborate on various different videos.
She's kind of fallen off too, I believe. Her last video is Are Alpha Males Right? And then you look at Sniper Wolf, and you've got like 500 billion views. I never got his content though, really. I never understood, like when him and Slogo Man and Jelly, obviously it's not made for 20-year-old men, like I realized that. But I feel like my videos when I was doing gaming stuff, I feel like people could still watch them, you know?
Let us scuttle forth, because that is what we do.
And I would just watch his stuff and then it would just be like, and then just like imagine that multiplied by 3. That was what I saw. But
throwing flashbang.
So if he had the correct attitude and mindset in order, why after 5 years of gaining an extremely consistent 100 million views per month did this number drop to between 5 and 15 million over the course of only a year? Azzy and I recently broke up. I have nothing but love and respect for this beautiful, smart, and caring woman. Please respect our privacy, thank you, which was accompanied by a video approximately 1 year later, conveniently just before his views began to decline, explaining the reason behind their breakup.
I don't see how that would have anything to do at all with his content.
However, if we take the date of Geordie's separation announcement, March 2020, and placed alongside his view count at the time, he actually went up in views after breaking up with Azzyland. Of course, there were other factors at play during this time, such as people being at home and therefore watching more YouTube due to the pandemic.
That's actually a really good point too.
However, it wasn't only Azzyland that Kwebbelkop would stop making videos with. After 5 years of filming together, the Robust trio being Kwebbelkop, Jelly, and Slogo would also slowly disintegrate.
That's what I thought it was, is when they quit filming together and they quit making all those loud things. And then everyone was like, we like Jelly, and we like Slogo Man. Let's go on YouTube and watch Jelly, his big square head in his hair. His big square head in his hair, and then Slogo Man. I never really watched much of his stuff.
Instead of playing with Geordie, who was busy making various reaction videos, Jelly and Slogo replaced him
He
with a
also
different
did start
YouTuber
the
by
reaction
name
stuff,
of
too.
Craner, which was noticed by fans on Reddit. The last thing I remember was that Kwebbelkop was playing
Who's
Minecraft
Craner?
with Jelly and Slogo Man in Robust Town. Now
Robust?
everything has changed.
The
Jelly
hell?
and Slogo Man replaced Kwebbelkop with Craner in
the
a
fuck's
new
Craner?
Minecraft server. Kwebbelkop made his
Who's Craner?
As this became an increasingly
True.
common discussion in
Dookie
Geordie's
butt.
comments section, he'd upload a
People
video
were
titled
noticing.
Why I Left Jelly and Slogo,
He loves-
explaining
oh,
that as a
whoops.
result of making video after video with the group, each of which following a similar
He loves this thumbnail idea where he just crying in the middle and then just... I don't think I'd ever make a video in which I would clickbait, anything like that. I can't say that. Oh, I probably shouldn't say that. I might get really desperate one day.
explaining that as a result of making video after video with the group, each of which following a similar narrative, Kwebbelkop felt as though he wasn't growing due to a lack of creativity.
I saw that my creativity was
Reasonable.
running out. I was just doing things with the group. I was going into that direction.
Reasonable.
I realized that I stopped growing as a person and that I just stagnated in life and I was just doing the same thing.
Geordie also explained that at around
Reasonable.
the same point in time, he'd become depressed, which made him feel as though he was holding the group back.
I ended up getting a depression, which I've never, ever, ever said anywhere publicly.
Yeah, that would be really embarrassing if you said that publicly. If you said you had a depression publicly. Really embarrassing.
Which I've never, ever, ever said anywhere publicly, but it was also holding them back because I couldn't give them the energy that they needed to make these videos.
I feel
As a
that,
result,
bro.
he began to participate in fewer and fewer recordings.
He never seemed like he was depressed.
He then began to collaborate with a new YouTuber
I
guy by the
remember
name
this.
of Tiger, yet
I
this would
remember
also
this.
end in another bit of drama.
Bruh, this is a weird fucking... This is where it starts to get like... Huh? Are you a person? Is this real? Are you an AI? Do you live in reality?
Me and Kwebbelkop got into a fight, and after this fight, I was pretty much left with nothing.
Kwebbelkop found Tiger when he was still a small YouTuber, and while
Little
the details
baby.
aren't public,
Baby
it
Tiger.
seemed as though Kwebbelkop offered guidance and growth to Tiger
Kwebbelkop.
in exchange for part or full ownership of the
Yeah.
channel.
I'm like, this
Yeah.
guy could be a really big YouTuber if I would
I agree.
coach him a little bit. He has so much talent.
Now this went exactly as planned in the beginning. They started playing together and pretty quickly Tiger's
I remember
viewership
being pretty excited
skyrocketed
by
from
this.
2 million views per month to 20
That's
million views
dope,
per
dude.
month. However, at around the same point in time, Tiger randomly stopped uploading altogether. 2 months later, Tiger would upload a video on a different channel titled Why I Left Kwebbelkop and Tiger,
He changed it to Liger. Call me rude, call me ignorant. My initial reaction to this when I saw it was Tiger saw how much money he was making on his channel and was like, well, I don't need Geordie. So then he left, made another channel called Liger, and it looks dumb now. It's a dumb version of Tiger. In all seriousness.
And I'm not gonna get too much into who was in the right or who was in the wrong.
Probably can't even talk about
because I can't.
Contracts.
Well, guys, it essentially boils down to one thing, and that is that me and Kwebbelkop are actually no longer friends.
Kwebbelkop and Tiger aren't friends anymore.
What would become obvious later was that somehow Kwebbelkop had claimed ownership over Tiger's channel, as he would upload a video where he had cloned Tiger's voice and attached it to an AI, which would provoke another response from Tiger, who was once again insulted.
This is insane. Imagine if I just like didn't like Clint anymore and I just got a fucking fake AI and just it was that on the nose. Kwebbelkop is an interesting dude. I cannot imagine the mind you'd have to want to do this, to replace one of your friends with a fucking AI. That's awesome. I mean, I like it. I'm gonna be honest.
The reason for the impending decline wasn't the drama itself, but rather one discovery made by Geordie throughout the conflict with Tiger, being that
There's
he
been
could
some
make
weird
an
stuff,
AI
though, is what I'm
character
saying.
to act as a real person.
Been
One
some
of the biggest
bizarre
lessons
stuff
I've learned in
from
business
Kwebbelkop.
is that pretty much everything you dream is possible. Cloning yourself, too easy.
Such a
4
good
years ago,
attitude.
I was in the middle of a burnout, made 3 videos per day and streamed 2 to 3 hours per day. I wished I could clone myself, so I did. What Kwebbelkop is referring to in this Twitter thread is a channel he launched 1 month after the drama with Tiger, which posts gaming videos and uses an AI character as the main personality within the videos.
Is this a real AI? Do you guys actually think this is a real AI? I don't think it's an AI. I don't think it's really an AI. I think that's bullshit.
Now, there's nothing wrong with anyone beginning a second channel, but when looking at the numbers, it's obvious that this new AI channel going by the name of Blue was seriously fragmenting Joy's
AI?
attention on the main channel.
How is it? Is it
launched
like
in
a
May
DARPA project?
2021 and began to do 4 million views per month instantly, yet if we look at the Kwebbelkop channel, May 2021 was also the point at which his viewership declined from an average of 100 million views.
He just started focusing on other stuff. Also, that was the peak of crypto as well. And like all the ETH stuff, and I believe he had a pretty strong involvement in like NFTs and trying to create stuff around those. So probably that divided his attention as well.
Kwebbelkop began to celebrate the strides that his AI channel was doing, yet he also seemed completely oblivious to the massive decline that was happening on his main channel. His average monthly viewership was down by 40 million on Kwebbelkop while he was celebrating 4 million views a month on
That's
Blue.
embarrassing.
It was the very definition of the man who chases two rabbits catches neither, and this decline on the main channel brought about further changes, which would ultimately make things even worse. Kwebbelkop would upload a video titled My Most Important Video with
Look at his face on there, dude. We try to do that on my channel a lot, where we just make my face look just a little bit on the uncanny side, right? Make one eye a little bigger, make my mouth a little wider, something like that. I'm not saying that this is done in the same way, but this just is a very kind of a jarring image.
Explaining that he was no longer enjoying YouTube.
I'm having a hard time being creative. I'm having a hard time having fun in my job. I'm having a hard time sleep.
What about pooping?
That's why after 10 years of making daily videos, I quit. I quit making daily videos.
Starting from today, he planned on making top quality content that the audience wanted to see.
That's cool.
Starting today, from now
What did he make?
on, you can expect
We just looked at his channel a minute ago.
Top notch, to be really flipping good, to be exactly what you want to see.
Yet the
Like
first
what?
3 videos posted in the days that followed were him bragging about his $10,000 dog, then him bragging about his custom orange,
Why would you ever make that public information that you have a $10,000 dog?
then him bragging about his $7.5 million penthouse
Yet again, who
apartment.
cares?
Welcome to my
Cool.
$7.5 million.
Oh, dude, this is the content I signed up for. This is the content I signed up for.
And it's just like,
Yeah!
why would you post this?
It'd be funnier if it was him, Jelly, and Slogoman. It would have worked. If him, Jelly, and Slogoman all wearing white suits walked out of an elevator and just started fucking jabbering.
The 3 videos felt like nothing more than a validation-seeking exercise which came off as quite insecure. A 2008 study by the Journal of Consumer Research stated that when people feel powerless and out of control, they feel an increased desire to purchase items which convey high status. Further, this increased attraction to high status products stems from a specific inclination to re-establish power.
I feel that. I just bought a GTR. So, not out of pocket. I literally traded my Bronco for it. I made out like a bandit. I've made out like a bandit on quite a few occasions, guys. I bought the Bronco for cheap, and the Bronco inflated in value to godly numbers, and I literally traded it for a supercar. And in this house, I bought with the money that I got from when I bought my parents' house and renovated it and sold it. I've been known to make out like a bandit.
Maybe deep down he felt as though he had lost his position of influence, which was certainly plausible because at the time of uploading the videos, his monthly viewership had declined by over 85% from its peak. Additionally, his house tour might have been evidence that Kwebbelkop had fallen into the classic
Let's get some
trap
no's
of
in
becoming
chat.
distracted from the channel by the items he was able to purchase as a
Yes.
result of the channel in the first place. This theory could be supported by the fact that after uploading his house tour
No,
on YouTube
no.
and announcing that he no longer
Kwebbelkop,
planned on
no.
uploading
Oh my God. Painfully breaking every possible bone in my body. How does that only have 155,000 views? That looks awesome. That's a great thumbnail, dude.
He went from 1 video per day to only 2 videos in both March and April of 2022, doing further damage to the channel's view count. Now, we can't neglect the fact that his Blue channel has actually gained a bit of traction over the last couple of months, gaining between 10 and
Weird.
25
People love
million views
VTubers.
per
I don't know
month.
why.
However, when combining the views of both Blue and Kwebbelkop together, even on the best months, he doesn't crack 40 million views, which is still less than half of what he was able to achieve
But
while
still a
simply
lot.
focusing on one channel.
But
in
still
a recent
a
video
lot.
titled My $100 Million GTA 5 Business in Real Life, which sports a similar kind of vibe to the apartment tour, Kwebbelkop talks about how he's also launched an NFT business and is working on a
That's
video
what I was
game,
talking about.
potentially fracturing his focus from YouTube even further.
Okay, yeah, that's
As
what I was
mentioned
saying.
earlier, Kwebbelkop is extremely switched on in terms of how to build and run a successful YouTube
He's
channel.
a smart
although as a
motherfucker
whole, there
with
are
a
2
crazy work
obvious
ethic. But he also just seems like a bit of a psycho. Bit of a Sigma male.
Geordie, I know how much we as males
Geordie-
love to brag. It's written in our DNA to talk endlessly about how good we are, but you have to resist the urge to do so.
Yeah, I agree.
Proclaiming your high status by posting videos of your G-Wagon and multi-million-dollar home, ironically does the
Whoa.
opposite.
That is a nice fucking house, though. Like, in all reality. That is a really, really, really good house. Cool house.
As your audience doesn't want to follow someone that needs to be validated in any way, shape, or form. The second problem
Fair.
is a little harder to solve as it requires
I agree,
either more
Sonny.
sacrifice or time, and I could be wrong altogether with this second problem because I'm not sure what kind of numbers your
He's
other
a bit of a
businesses are
Sigma
doing,
male.
but your focus is clearly fragmented, or maybe you have too many things to focus on. You claim to have between 50 and 100 employees.
I'm running a business with I don't know how many employees.
That's kind of a irresponsible thing to admit to as a business owner. I don't even have any idea how many people work for me or what is even going on right now.
The potential inefficiency of this was also noticed by some of the sidemen.
So Kwebbelkop has basically tweeted out saying that he spends on average 14 days and 14 editors to make one video.
Instantly, I'm thinking your team or your process is incredibly inefficient.
That is insanely inaccurate. Yeah, you're fucked if you're doing that, dude.
Your team or your process
14 days and 14 editors per video?
And while the one step back for
That's
two steps
fucking
forward
crazy.
mentality is a great thing to have, something feels off with the numbers. Maybe you're just bragging about employing way more people than you actually do, and if this is the case, it's just another piece of evidence for the previous point. Quit with the bragging. It's not necessary and adds no value to anything at any point in time. When you appeared on the Watch Time podcast with Muselk, one very mature thing that you said was that you appreciate when your YouTuber friends call you out on things. So while I was probably a little bit harsh in this video, hopefully it can provide some genuine tough love feedback about where you can improve going into the future.
What an interesting video.